Hello everyone. Welcome back to LoFi Yoga. We are back on the mat this week, and I thought it might be nice to pay a bit of homage to one of my favorite yoga classes, that the studio where I first began my practice. This was like one of my favorite classes that I took while I was there. It was basically called Flow and Restore. And the first half of the class would be spent, building up heat, moving through asanas, and, aligning each breath with an action, a little bit of a faster pace. And then at the end, you would shift into a more of restorative poses with like props and things like that. And then, of course, the most insanely rewarding and relaxing savasana ever, right? So it's not going to be quite an hour long. I don't really know if I have that in me, but we'll try to build up as much heat as we can and then relax at the end. Have something that I would like to read to help guide us into our shavasana. We'll get into that later. To begin our practice, let's set our intention for today. We just had the full moon in Sagittarius, that blue moon, just the other day. Of course, this is whenever you find this, it happens to find you, but the original upload date, it coincided pretty closely with the Sagittarius full moon. Full moons are usually a time to focus on releasing. And the fact that the month of May began and ended with this call to release, it sort of shows how jam-packed the last month has been. There was a lot going on astrologically. There was probably a lot going on in everyone's personal lives, and if not, good for you. But personally, there was a lot of change. There was a lot of people leaving, experiences ending, internal shifts, my own perspective of myself. And you probably were feeling the same thing. So as we move today, I invite a little bit of acceptance to that release, whatever release that was. And again, positive, negative, this is your story, your practice. Set the intention today with me if you would like. I am not afraid to release what is not meant for me. As we stand here in our semi-mountain pose or actual mountain pose, yogi's choice, lift and lower the toes to just sort of reground and feel through all 5 of your toes on each foot, one and then the other. Shift your weight around on your feet until you can feel the ball of your foot and that pad of your foot fully grounded into the mat. And last, rock up onto your toes to lift the heels. And again, as you bring them down to the mat, reground until you can feel the mat beneath the entire surface of your foot. Give that same attention and love and consideration to the rest of your body, traveling up through your ankles. Shift your weight around until it feels good, all the way up through your calves, your knees, the entire length of your thighs up into your hips. Maybe if you have the same pelvic tilt, you remember to tuck. And that means you align yourself in your core and you draw that belly button towards your spine. Not holding your breath, just strengthening the muscles in your belly. Paying attention to your rib cage and how it's stacked over your hips. As you inhale and exhale, notice your chest expanding and contracting, the stretch along the collarbone. Keep your shoulders roll both directions and let them relax away from your ears. Notice the space of your upper back. Is it rounded? Do you feel tension there? Notice the length of your neck. Not straining here, just lengthen. Head held high. Along your jawline. Maybe you wiggle your jaw around a little bit. And then let it relax. Notice any tension around your eyes. Make sure that your eyelids are softly closed and you're not squeezing. Release the tension between your brows. And let your next inhale travel all the way from your belly up. And imagine you're breathing through the crown of your head. Hold that breath. And then exhale. Slowly open your eyes. Now we move today. Inhale, reach the arms up. Maybe you take a back bend, maybe you don't. You're in the back bend. Inhale your way up. Exhale, bring the arms out to a T. Palms facing forward. Relax the shoulders. Flip that left palm up. And exhale as you reach over to the right. Inhale your way up, arms back to the T. Inhale, flip that right palm. Exhale, fold over to the left. Inhale your way up, back to your T. And this time we're going to twist over to the right, back to center, into the left. Take a few more twists each side. Last round on each side. Make your way back to the middle. Let your arms drop. Let's make our way into a figure four. Bringing the weight into the left foot. Bend that right knee. Press the shin across the left thigh. And then sit. Only as much as you feel comfortable with. You should feel this along the outer right hip. Inhale, make your way back to tree. Shake out that left leg a little bit before we find our figure four. On the other side. Right, left shin, right thigh. And sink into that figure four. Inhale your way up and back to tree. From here we find a wide-legged forward fold. So step the feet out. Nice comfortable distance. Bring the hands out into a T. Flip the palms backwards. And you're going to bring them behind your back. And you can interlace the fingers. You can grab opposite elbows. Or if you have the ability to go for the full expression with palms in prayer at your back, I will show you. Looks like that, something like that. Your choice, whatever is going to feel comfortable for you here. Inhale as you reach to the crown of your head, drawing the body up and then forward. Maybe you pause about halfway down to make sure you're not getting dizzy. And then you fold. If you're in that bind, feel free to release. Bring the hands down to the mat or onto blocks if you have blocks. Bend carefully into that left knee, just slightly, for a side lunge. And again, keep your hands down on the mat or on the blocks to make this a little more supportive. And then inhale back to the center, and then exhale, carefully bend that right knee to find that same supported lunge. Inhale back to the middle, over to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through the middle. And this time we're going to exhale. Turn the left toes to the short edge of your mat. Walk your hands over until you are in a low lunge. Take a moment to recalibrate yourself before you make your way up into a high lunge. You can inhale. You can inhale. And lift the arms up overhead, or you can bring them onto your left thigh. From this high lunge, we are going to spin that back foot and make our way into Warrior Two. Allow yourself to feel all of this Warrior Two. Allow yourself to feel ready, strong, and focused. And next time you take an inhale, flip that front palm. And then exhale, make your way into Peaceful Warrior. Straighten that front knee. Inhale your way into Triangle Pose. Exhale as you fold. Spin the hands down and we go back to that low lunge. And then walk your way to that side lunge. Make your way into the middle and find your forward fold. Exhale, walk your hands over, bending into that right knee. And then walk your way into that low lunge. Make your adjustments for your feet before you rise into high lunge. Inhale to Warrior Two. Flip that front palm. Exhale your way back into Peaceful Warrior. Straighten that front knee. Inhale your way forward. And then exhale into triangle. Spin the hands back to low lunge. Walk your way into Ashistasana, side lunge. And if you have the ability to make your way into a yogi squat, do so. your hands to your heart. And make your way into a seat. And then onto your back for whatever shavasana pose you want to take. You can follow along with tradition and find corpse pose. You could also take a supported rest pose, supported bridge, maybe even legs up the wall might be nice. Yogi's choice. What leaves without any explanation was following the greater plan. You may not see why it had to go just yet, but wait. Your heart is telling you that there is a loss, and it probably hurts. It probably feels like something has been taken away from you. Feel that. Sit with it. Let it shake you up, break you apart, to make the perfect space for the thing that has been set aside for you. Don't focus on the future. Don't rush through where you are right now. This part matters just as much as any other. The way that you feel when something leaves is the foundation of something greater. As you sit with this perceived loss, scan through your body and notice where you're feeling it. As you encounter tension, exaggerate it for a moment before releasing it. Anywhere you might feel unease, breathe into it. This is your space to feel how you feel, acknowledge and honor the feelings, let them move through your body, let them speak to your mind, and then release them from your heart. It's okay to let things change you. What causes damage is holding on to it forever. Let things teach you, love you, and change you, and then let those things go when it's time for them to leave. But I hate to interrupt. It is time for me to end things here. Feel free to stay in your Shavasana for a little bit longer. I will just leave you by saying thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for moving with me today. I hope that you enjoyed this practice. I hope that you will have a wonderful rest of your week. And I hope that you will be kind to yourselves and to one another. And I will see you in the next video.